Florida bracing for Irma's impact, and Texas works to recover from Harvey. Many out there wondering what they can do to help. And in a move that received a tweet of support from the current commander-in-chief, the 5 living former presidents have teamed up for hurricane relief. Watch this.
Hurricane Harvey brought terrible destruction, but it also brought out the best in humanity.
As former presidents, we wanted to help our fellow Americans begin to recover.
Our friends in Texas, including Presidents Bush 41 and 43, are doing just that.
People are hurting down here, but as one Texan put it, we've got more love in Texas than water.
We love you, Texas.
Nice, right? Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas and a Fox News contributor, and Karl Rove, former deputy chief of staff to President George W. Bush and a Fox News political contributor. Gentlemen, welcome. Good to have you both here tonight. Always nice to see that, Governor Huckabee.
It is nice to see it, especially in a time where things are so polarized politically. These 5 gentlemen showed that there are some things that Americans can rise above when there's a time of crisis, and I think it's refreshing. I hope Congress all watches this and realizes now is the time to put small things aside and do something really big for every American.
Karl, your thoughts, as you watch this, we were in Houston together the other day, and obviously there's the concern that all the attention turns to Florida, but they're going to need a lot of help too.
Yeah, both Florida and Texas are going to need America's help, and I thought it was terrific the former presidents did this. President Bush 41 arranged for a special account so that 100% of the contributions made to this effort go directly into relief. They've covered the overhead, and I think that's a magnificent way to guarantee that if Americans want to help somebody in need, this is a way to get it done. 100% goes directly to help.
Yeah, and what happens after this, and Harvey is sort of in that stage right now, is that some people seem to get the money they need, other people don't get the money they need. There's 3 churches in Houston, Governor, let me start with you on this, that are suing FEMA because they want to know why, as a church which serves the public and anybody who wants to walk in those doors, and in times like these, a lot of people walk in those doors, they're not allowed to get any money from FEMA. But a club, like even a stamp club or a bicycle club, can apply for money from FEMA, but a church can't. Do you think that case is going to hold up for them?
I think it will, because separation of church and state is not a constitutional phrase, and it means that the government cannot invoke itself into the church. It doesn't mean that the church is prohibited from being a part of the public square. What this really does say is that if you're religious, you don't belong in any type of public forum, and that's absurd. It's the religious people who are basically on the front lines of recovery and rescue out there. So I hope that this gets resolved. We've taken this way too far and made it where that you can just believe about anything except you really can't believe in God, or the government's going to punish you for
They'll
it.
turn their back on you where the money's concerned. Karl, quick thought on that before we go?
Yeah, look, there was a court case involving religious institutions in Missouri in which the Supreme Court, by 7-2, held that exactly this kind of application of federal law to discriminate against faith-based institutions was unconstitutional, and the FEMA has not updated. This happened a couple of years ago. FEMA has not updated its rules. I hope they quickly do so. Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, who was the head of before going to the Senate, was the head of a Lutheran college, has written the FEMA administrator laying out the case. I agree with Governor Huckabee. The law has been changed by the Supreme Court, and the rules and regulations of federal agencies ought to be changed as well.
It's really something to think about, especially in times like these. Thanks, you guys. Good to see you.